get the green, I mean, that's as critical almost as getting into turn one good. Got to get through that first turn, that third and fourth turn to take the green to get a fast lap here. And I'm serious. Do all that and hold your breath for about 30 seconds because that's what it feels like. And maybe you'll knock the air out of you when you land down there in 1 and 2.
It's a fast racetrack. They're going to go around here today in less than 23 seconds.
And the thing about it, if you go back to qualifying at Darlington last week, the thing the crew chief wanted to hammer that driver is don't overdrive the corner. This is one of those places where you need to make that car where that driver can drive that thing down in the corner because you've got to make it, as Darrell puts it, when it goes down in that corner and lands, the minute that car lands and sets, you got to be able to nail that throttle and not roll back out. That's the kind of car that'll sit on the pole here today. And then, of course, the big story at the end, 45 cars. That means 2 cars will be going home, and it's all over with. All
right, ready to roll with qualifying here at Dover. Darrell, going out early at this track, not an advantage, quite the opposite.
No, the sun just lays here, and the rubber that's been put down on top of the concrete, it really gets hot and kind of slimy almost for the first couple of cars that go out. So I've never seen the first car go out have very good luck at winning a pole. Might get a good lap, but not going to win a pole, I don't think.
Jeff Gordon has 4 poles here, 2 in the spring race and 2 in the fall.
And just saw there, Mike, he had to pedal it just a little bit up off turn 2 there just because the car was a little bit too free. She will tighten up, though, on this second lap if he elects to take it.
But you can see the slowest part of this racetrack still 145 miles an hour. And he runs a 23.04. That's a little over a tenth slower than what he ran in practice. I just think that this track has lost some grip since practice because I think it's actually quite a bit warmer.
Yeah, it's quite a bit warmer. And you'll play, too. If you mess up big time, you might pick up. Let's see if Jeff can gain anything here because he did lose a little from practice.
Ooh, that baby looks free, man.
Second lap is slower. The track's almost 10 degrees warmer than it was in practice. Well, whether you're talking crab cakes or concrete, Dick Berggren is with the man who knows Dover.
Indeed, and that would be Martin Truex Jr., who won here in 2007, started in the 26th position to win that race, but 4th in practice today. Darrell says you got to hold your breath to get a good lap in. You're going to do that.
Yeah, you sure do have to hold your breath here. We'll see. We struggled a little bit qualifying this year, but the guys went to work on the Napa Toyota today and came here with a really good qualifying plan. So we'll see what happens. You got to go out there and try to throw it down, and we'll try to do it.
Yeah, Martin's family's in the clam business. You eat clam chowder, chances are they caught the clams.
Greg Biffle in the 3M Ford is next. Biffle running off a string of 7 top 10 qualifying efforts here, including a pole for this race 2 years ago.
Greg was 9th quickest in practice. He was a little quicker than what Jeff Gordon had run in practice. He ran a 22.91, but it doesn't look like he's going to back his practice run up.
Don't believe so, Larry. Very difficult to do going out early here. It just always had been that way. Blame it on whatever you like. It's warmer out there, yeah, but even on a regular, normal, overcast day, it's always the first few cars out just can't get it done.
Biffle won here in September 2008 and has not been back to victory lane since.
Yeah, that's the year he won the first 2 races of the chase. Won at Loudon and won here.
Second lap slower by 3/100ths for Biffle.
One thing about Biffle's OP, so he's been completed 99.9% of the laps that's been run this year, so that's good news for him. Got a good dependable car.
Dick Berggren
with Denny Hamlin, who has now won every other race for the last 6, but this is a tough place for you. What are you doing to try to turn around your record here?
Finish. We got to finish first, but that's the main goal. Our FedEx Freight car was pretty good during practice. You know, we didn't have the all-out speed that we wanted, but you know, qualifying's always been a trick for me. You know, our average start is probably in the 20s, mid-20s or so. So we got to improve upon that, and we did last week, and it gave us good track position. So that's our start, and then you know, we'll see what we got tomorrow.
Congratulations on your success. Been fun to watch you for the last several weeks.
Sure has. Matt Kenseth's Cup debut came here, substituting for Bill Elliott, September 1998. He won a pole here for Jack Roush in 2003.
Well, he beats his teammate Greg Biffle. Right now, he's 2nd quickest at a 23.11, which is about a half a tenth off what he ran in practice. Here's what's comical, or not comical, I'm sure, to the Roush Fenway camp, is second, third, and fourth to go out are all Roush Fenway cars, and then Carl Edwards goes out 8th. I'm not sure who does the drawing for that group. I don't know if I'd let him do it anymore.
David Reagan and Scott Speed next.
Saturday night, May 22nd, the stars come out and the gloves come off for the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race on Speed. And with $1 million on the line, it's checkers or wreckers. But some of NASCAR's biggest names, Montoya, Biffle, Burton, and Edwards, aren't in the show yet. They'll get one last chance to fight their way into the All-Star Race in the Sprint Showdown. It all starts Saturday night, May 22nd at 7 Eastern.
Only on Speed.
Maybe it's time you went out for a night off the town. Check out the National Go Outdoors event at Bass Pro Shops. Get great deals on great gear, including the new Ascend A10 kayak for under $300. Your adventure starts here.
We're in the mood for baby back ribs for dinner tonight. Who's got them? And it has to be all you can eat.
Thanks for dropping by.
Golden Corral is the first ever to offer all the fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs you want, all on our endless dinner buffet for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
They itch, sweat, burn, smell. You could have foot dermatitis. It's what Gold Bond medicated foot powder was made for. Medicated to tackle the itch. Keeps feet dry. Look for the healing seal. Gold Bond foot powder. Works as hard as your feet.
With Gold Bond medicated powder, you've got the power of fast, lasting relief from wetness, irritation, and itch. And that Gold Bond cooling rush says it's working like ordinary powders can't. Look for the healing seal. Gold Bond medicated. The powder with the power.
If you bought a new car this year, thank you.
I needed a car with a lot of room. I was really surprised with the deals I found. I was getting a lot more back on my car than I expected. You could tell they were so eager to move the car. It made the negotiation real smooth. They just rolled out the red carpet for us. My name is Matt Rohr, and I bought a 2009 Chevy Traverse earlier this year.
If you need a new car, it's still a buyer's market. Vehix.com, your online resource to find your ride.
Speed's presentation of NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying at Dover is presented by Subway Restaurants. So many $5 footlongs to choose from. Enjoy amazing value at Subway all day, every day. And brought to you by the Sponsifier. Visit ToyotaRacing.com. Click on Design It, enter it. David Reagan is the fourth driver to take time in the UPS Ford. He got his third top 25 start here. In the fall of last year, he's still looking for his first top 10 start of the season, and right now he's third of 4.
All these guys just look really free. The back of the car seem to be hanging out just a little wee bit.
Well, you and I were talking about that during practice. If the driver came in and told me that the car was a little bit tight, it's like perfect. If it's a little bit loose, let's really tighten it up for qualifying.
Matt?
Mike, Steve Letarte said the car looked a little free. DW said it looked like you were tiptoeing off turn 2. How slick was it?
Yeah, it was different than practice for sure. You know, we made some adjustments, and of course going out first, and you never really want to go out first, but we've been going out like 35th the last 4 weeks, so I guess it was our time. And the DuPont Chevrolet's been good, but right there, yeah, I just tried to squeeze the gas a little too hard in the middle one, too, and the mountain came around on me like it did here a year ago. So luckily we saved the car and brought it back with an okay lap.
Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Home track for his sponsor, DuPont. Headquartered up in Wilmington.
Pretty hard to critique a lap when you're the fastest.
That's
so far,
right.
You know.
Well, Scott Speed in the Red Bull Toyota is going to be 5th of 5 with a lap of 23.29 to start out. He won a truck race here 2 years ago and has 2 nationwide starts to go with his 2 cup starts at Dover.
We're just seeing a pretty consistent pattern. For the most part, everyone is about roughly a 10th off from what they practice. Scott Speed's roughly a 10th off on that first lap.
Well, Larry, we started practice at roughly 70 degrees. We start qualifying at 85 and full sun, and wow, that's a huge swing.
It is, and there's quite a bit more wind blowing too. Now, wind doesn't affect these race cars a lot, but it will have a little effect on. Watch this 82 car up out of the groove a little bit. That back end steps out. Get your attention right there, boys, because a lot of times you don't catch it.
Dover International Speedway, from your Sponsifier track description, it is exactly 1 mile around, steeply banked in the corners, And the 9 degrees on the straightaways, there are a lot of weekly short tracks that don't have 9 degrees of banking.
And that's a lot of banking, I promise you, whether it's in the corners or on the straightaway, especially during the race on Sunday, what goes up will go to the bottom.
Martin Truex from Mayetta, New Jersey. It's his first trip here in the Napa car. He'd been in the DEI #1 his entire Cup career, which began in 2006. And he has, of course, 1 win here.
I believe, you know, I think Michael Waltrip Price is going to win a race this year. And I believe it's a good place for Martin. He's won here before. I said he'd win on a 1-mile racetrack like this. And right now, top of the
wow. By a wide margin, by almost 0.2 of a second.
That's a nice lap right there, Larry.
Becomes our first car to run in the 22-second bracket. Running in the 22s was pretty common in that practice, as Mike pointed out, when the track was a lot cooler.
He could have brought her on in after that first one, I'm pretty sure.
He was the second fastest Toyota in practice to Kyle Busch, and the second lap only falls off 4/100, so that's pretty fast.
88 P1, great job, man.
Good second lap even.
Yeah.
And he had his hands full in a second. He was working that thing.
Martin Truex Jr. and Jamie McMurray will be our guest on trackside later on the night.
Who's bringing the crab cakes? Let me guess.
DW should have a sack full left.
I eat all mine.
Denny Hamlin, 2 third-place starts at Dover. A 4th-place finish, his best here. It's not been his best track. In fact, it's probably been his worst track, he's said. Trying to turn that around right here.
Well, and not necessarily on performance, just on finishes. If it can happen to a race car, it has happened to them here at Dover.
Yeah, you saw him a lot like Jeff Gordon. Right there, just exited turn 2, middle of 1 and 2 down there. Car wiggling with him. That's a very uncomfortable. Car here looks very loose as well.
First lap for Hamlin, second quickest, 23:03, beating Jeff Gordon by 1/1000th of a second.
Denny, even though they've been on their mark on race day with their 3 wins, they've only had 1 top 10 start this year, and that was 8th at Darlington last weekend.
Second lap looks like same as the first. A 28. He's quicker, but still holds second spot.
But he's the first car to actually pick up on that second lap.
Yeah, 1/1000th.
Close enough to call it the same, isn't it?
1/100th, yeah. That would be very encouraging for the race. Have a car that can run that fast, 2 back-to-back laps like that.
Martin Truex debriefing. He is quickest so far as Carl Edwards in the Aflac Ford. Has 1 top 5 start here and a win in the fall race of 2007. In 11 appearances, 47 races without a victory for Carl. That's about 1 1/4 seasons.
But he was really good, and all through practice stayed in the top 4 or 5 the whole practice session, which is really good for them. They really struggled last week at Darlington.
He wound up 7th in practice, 3rd among the Fords.
It's going to be a pretty good lap for Carl,
Yep.
it looks like.
Second, 22:97.
You can hear him, boy. They get back to that throttle in a hurry, and the question is, can I get it wide open and keep it wide open?
Now, going back to Pat Trice and Martin Truex Jr.'s crew chief, debriefing with him, we're back to a normal schedule here this weekend. These guys will get practice tomorrow. This is not their final laps before the race on Sunday.
Second lap a little slower for Carl. Here's Matt.
And still debriefing a little bit with Pat Trice. And so, other guys will slow down a 10th or 2 here or there. You only slowed down 6/100, so you got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, well, we left some out there. We were a little worried because the track's getting hotter, and the nationwide practice is definitely blacker. We were a little bit tight in 3 and 4 in practice, and we got a little nervous about adjusting on it. We probably should have, but it's a great lap for our Napa Toyota. We've struggled in qualifying lately. We came here with a really good plan, and we stuck to it, and so far it's worked out. So car was really, really good in race trim. We've been doing really good in races lately, so love coming here to Dover. Hopefully this will be a start to a great weekend for us.
Now the guys on trackside are expecting some good food tonight because you've got a good in.
I've got some lobster tails, but I think everybody's pretty much called one of them already. But we'll bring something over there for them. Look forward to seeing those guys tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ryan Newman has 10 starts at Dover in the first 2 rows of the field, including 4 poles. 9 top 5s. He was 3rd here last fall in the Army Chevrolet.
Ryan swept the races here in 2003, second quickest at a 22.95. Just a little off from what he ran in practice, not much.
Qualifying here seems to take on an added importance historically, maybe because of the old very narrow pit road, but over 50% of all Dover winners started in the first 2 rows. Truex fastest, Newman and Edwards, Logano and Harvick are next.
NASCAR's greatest legends finally have a home for the ages. The NASCAR Hall of Fame enshrines its first class of inductees. May 23rd, live on Speed.
Whose idea was this? It says that when you buy a Grand Caravan, Dodge will give you 60 days to decide if you want to keep it. It's ridiculous. Look at it. It's got seating for up to 7, a smooth V6 engine, and a 5-star government crash test rating. Why would you need 60 days? Really, who is that indecisive? The Dodge you won't need 60 days to decide, but we'll give it to you anyway event.
When my dad wasn't racing cars, he was rebuilding them. And the same went for me. That's why when I want to look for a classic to rebuild, I go to Copart.com. Copart.com has over 50,000 vehicles online to choose from every day. Everything from classics, cars, trucks, motorcycles, rebuilders, you name it. That's what makes Copart.com the virtual auction for people who are passionate about cars, like me, Carl Edwards. Copart.com, where car guys get cars.
If you could see what your headlights see, you would never let this happen. Are you letting your headlight lenses hurt the appearance of your car because they're too expensive to replace or too hard to repair? With Meguiar's Headlight Restoration Kit, you can make your lens covers clear again. Simply apply Meguiar's Plastics Polish using our unique safety edge buffing pad on any electric grill. Scratches, yellowing, and oxidation quickly disappear. Guaranteed. Meguiar's Headlight Restoration Kit, the clear choice.
Joey Logano on his 2nd lap, the first of which for the Home Depot Toyota, 23.04, 6th quickest. If he picks up half a hundredth, he can move up the board. Nope, a little slower on that, too.
Little car looked good, though. Nice and smooth. He wasn't fighting with it.
No. Logano started 11th here last fall, but had that horrendous crash. Tonight, you'll see the world's fastest gladiators as they clash on the concrete in Dover. The monster is lurking. NASCAR Camping World Truck Series coverage from Dover airs on Speed tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Truck race is fun. You know, no really clear-cut favorite, I don't think. If you look at the guys, somebody different's won that race just about every time we come here. And it's usually somebody sort of unexpected.
Like Scott Speed a couple of years ago.
Kevin Harvick, Michelle Pennzoil's Chevrolet. Oh, you saw that tracker shoot way to the right as he went off into one.
Either apparently he just drove in that corner way too hard and the car wouldn't stick. It drove up the hill with him.
But they somewhat struggled most of that hour-and-a-half practice earlier, and this has not necessarily been one of Kevin Harvick's better racetracks.
4 top 10 starts here in 18 appearances for Harvick. First lap is the slowest of 11 so far.
Yeah, I think that's all he wants.
He said, I cannot stand anymore. I can't run any faster right now, boys.
I was really surprised when he said in the early practice that he liked his car, that it was like one of the best cars he had brought to Dover. And I told Larry at the time, I said, Larry, it's not very fast.
Yeah.
Seemed like he needed some speed for it to be a good race car.
He's going to have his work cut out for him Sunday.
The race conditions on Sunday are expected to be just about like they were at the start of practice. Temperatures in the low 70s.
Which was just about perfect.
And right now we're right around 85 degrees this afternoon as Clint Boyer in the Cheerios Hamburger Helper Chevy of Richard Childress comes out. He has 2 top 10 starts at Dover. And in all but one of his races here, he's finished in the top 20, including 3 8th-place runs.
I know we talk about crab cakes and you know how good they are, but this place right here will eat your lunch. I can tell you that.
And give you indigestion.
It's a man eater. tough race here, 400 laps.
Clint was fastest today in Nationwide Series practice.
Yeah, and second quickest in Sprint Cup Series practice. He's always kind of liked the boy. But, you know, he stayed in the throttle, Darrell, and it ended up third quickest. But it looked like a mess there for a minute.
And that's enough of that.
That had disaster written on it.
That was a wild ride off turn 4.
What happened there probably would have hurt his second lap more so than it did the first lap.
Good thing he got that big hand on the back of it. I know that. It kind of pushed him away from the wall right there.
It's about as close as you can come to hitting and not hitting. It's a good lap, though, 22.95.
Matt?
A good lap also by Ryan Newman. One of those places he always seems to run so well. So were you better at one end of the racetrack versus the other on your fast lap?
To me, 1 and 2 feels better than 3 and 4. 3 and 4 feels like it's got it just a little bit rougher, and I think we're giving up a little bit down there, just not getting it right quite right. But a good run for the U.S. Army Chevrolet, and I think it'll be top 10 someplace. I hope. It's a nice place to start in the top 10.
And you can see, look at Ryan. I mean, he's soaking wet there just from this little bit of qualifying run he made. It's really hot out there right now.
Last fall, Juan Pablo Montoya started second and finished fourth here in the Target Chevy. He has 2 outside poles at this track.
Run 2, run 2.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that lap there. The slowest of the 13 cars. Brian Patty told him to go ahead and run a second lap.
Well, Larry, he's really diamonding the corner off as if I think the car might just be loose, and he's sort of backing it up the racetrack. You see how high right here he is. That's too high to be making fast lap around here.
But as we talked in practice, in the last 5 races, he's gained 8 points in the standings. He's up to 17th and cut the deficit to the chase to just 54 behind. He is 11th of 13, qualifying ahead of Scott Speed and Kevin Harvick. Dick?
Casey Mears is substituting for Brian Vickers, who is ill and in the hospital. This all came together so quickly. Have you got everything the way you want it? The car comfortable, the seat comfortable, and that sort of thing?
We got the majority of it right. You know, I mean, the guys did a real good job in a short amount of time getting things as comfortable as they could. And, you know, we'll see what happens. The car's a little off. We missed it a little bit coming here this weekend. And we got some good ideas, though. We know what we need to do for race trim. Just got a little bit behind the ball. I think with everything else that was going on, you know, leading up to this point. So we'll try to get the best lap we can with the Red Bull Toyota here. And I just want to say hi to Vickers. Hope he's doing well. And go out here and do the best job we can.
Hey, good luck to you, Mike.
Thanks, Dick. We'll explain the Brian Vickers story later in this telecast as Jimmy Johnson, who has not yet won a pole this year, but who won practice, is on track with a lap that right now looks like it could be second fastest to Martin Truex.
Boy, he got a good run off of 3 and 4. Looked like he had to pedal just a little bit there off of 4. Second quickest for the 48 car at a 22.94.
He needs to pick up 6 100ths to knock Truex from the pole. I don't see it.
No, and that was a big bullet for Martin Truex Jr. to dodge right there.
Totally agree.
Jimmy Johnson has won 2 poles at Dover in the Lowe's Chevrolet, including last September when he went on to lead 271 laps and win. Travis Kvapil and last year's pole winner David Rudiman are next.
Tonight, a monster is lurking, and we're there as NASCAR's toughest truckers clash on the concrete. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series from Dover. Tonight at 8 Eastern, only on Speed.
Hey, JD, you see my drink anywhere? I'll keep looking.
Where does Carl Edwards get his power? Subway low-fat $5 footlongs like the tempting oven-roasted chicken or Black Forest ham. They fuel him up for amazing performances. Subway, eat fresh.
Found it.
A few years ago, I got a wake-up call. A heart attack at 57. That was a rough time. My doctor told me I should have been doing more for my high cholesterol. You should have listened. You're right. Now I'm eating healthier, and I trust my heart to Lipitor.
When diet and exercise are not enough, adding Lipitor may help. Lipitor is FDA approved to reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke in patients who have heart disease or risk factors for heart disease. Lipitor is backed by over 18 years of research. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. This may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
My dad learned the hard way, but you may be able to do something.
Have a heart-to-heart with your doctor about your risk and about Lipitor.
A night of anything can happen racing action you'll never forget.
Travis Quapple in the $1 Baja Fish Taco Ford. Now that is a mouthful. It's probably a good mouthful too.
Yes.
From Long John Silver's, and he is in at 23:41, quicker on his first lap, coming off an 11th place finish here last year.
Well, the good news is he did pick up from what he ran in practice. Bad news is slowest of the 15 cars so far.
David Rudiman, last year's pole winner, finished 11th at Darlington, his best finish since he was 5th at Daytona. Here's the Aaron's Toyota trying to back up last year's pole win here.
David likes his place. When we used to run him in the truck here, he sat on a pole, and he gets around here very well. And the way Martin Truex, his teammate, qualified here, David might have something for these guys.
I tell you what, he's been on a qualifying roll here lately. Qualified 2nd at Richmond and 4th at Darlington last week.
Won the pole last year and led 25 laps in that race. The only laps he's led in a Cup car at Dover.
Yeah, he
6th.
lost. He had a pretty good lap going. 1 and 2 was good to him, but 3 and 4 didn't work out.
23:01 on the first lap for Rudiman.
You can just see how much he's having to play with that throttle trace all the way till he gets well up on the straightaway.
Yeah.
This will end his string of top 5 qualifying runs. He's 6th quickest right now.
Coming up, Kevin Conway, Jamie McMurray, and Tony Stewart.
Sunday, NASCAR Race Day takes on the Monster Mile as Juan Pablo Montoya and NASCAR's hottest driver, Denny Hamlin, join us live. NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot. Live from Dover Sunday at 10 Eastern. Only on Speed.
600 pounds of salmon breath. You in? 5th generation 4Runner. Sucker punched by a big fish. You in? 5th generation 4Runner.
You all want to run your businesses more efficiently, so we brought in a team of experts to help.
One suggestion is to make your shipping more efficient with priority mail flat rate boxes from the Postal Service.
Shipping's a hassle, weighing every box.
Actually, with flat rate boxes, you don't need to weigh anything under 70 pounds. If it fits, it ships for a low flat rate.
Call or go online for a free flat rate box shipping kit that includes free boxes and our helpful shipping guide. Do it today and we'll ship it all right to your door for free.
Okay, but I ship all over the country.
You can ship anywhere in the country for a low flat rate. Ship international, too.
And remember, flat rate boxes come in 4 sizes, and shipping starts at just $4.95. Call or go online for a free shipping kit with a full supply of free boxes plus the shipping guide. Act now and you'll get them all delivered right to your business free of charge.
Priority mail flat rate boxes. Only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship. Call or go online now to get started.
Kevin Conway in the Extends Ford from Front Row Motorsports. 23:71 the first lap. That'll be the slowest of our 17 so far. He has 2 Nationwide Series starts here. And up until Darlington had finished every race this season, but crashed out of the race at 300 laps last week. Conway's second lap is a little slower. Let's go to Matt.
And Mike, I don't think anybody could spin on the front stretch here at Dover, not hit anything, and put on such an E-Tech performance as Jimmy Johnson did a couple years ago. And it got a little edgy off for that time, Larry Mack said he thought from the booth. So?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, that spin a few years back was so cool. I can't believe I didn't hit anything, man.
You deserved a trophy for that one.
I do, man. Some said it was luck, and I agree luck had a part in it, but if you could have seen me inside that race car, I mean, I was steering wheel, gas, brake, all kinds
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan, man. It was awesome. I'm glad I didn't hit anything then, and thankful that I made it back this lap. My turn 3 and 4 area kind of started when I let off the gas into 3. The car hit the racetrack, and it more had the car wobbling through the corner, and I wasn't sure which way the car was going to commit, because I saw a couple instances where it wanted to be tight and somewhere it was going to be loose, and I just didn't have the confidence in which way I was going to be pointed to jump in the gas as hard as I needed to. But decent lap, and we're at a great racetrack for us. Looking forward to it.
This car looks like his teammate Juan Pablo Montoya. Car's not staying down. It's going up the hill, and it's kind of loose up off the corner.
It's going to be a little faster than Montoya. Those 6 quickest for Jamie.
22.99 for McMurray. He's the 6th driver to break 23 seconds. Looking for his 8th top 10 start at Dover. You will see Jamie McMurray tonight as part of the Ultimate Friday Night House Party at the Monster Mile. Jamie Mack and Martin Truex stop by NASCAR Trackside. Live from Dover tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
He's a good little golfer.
This is a great opportunity, though. Daryl's not going to be joining us for Trackside. Daryl, I can remember 20-something years ago, a big event for Daryl and Stevie Waltrip. Jessica Lee was born.
Yep.
And she's graduating from college. Congratulations to her, you and Stevie, and the whole family.
Yep. Tomorrow, the ceremony's at Belmont University there in Nashville, and huge.
Tony Stewart, the Old Spice Office Depot Chevrolet. Tony has 2 wins at Dover, but they were 10 years ago. Since then, he has a string of single-digit finishes, but only 2 top 10 qualifying efforts since then.
It's going to be a decent run for Tony. I don't know if it's going to be what he's looking for. He's 10th quickest at a 23.04, comes in here 18th in the points, and 1 year ago was 2nd in the points.
Well, here's the telling stat on Stewart. He's led over 1,000 races here, but in the last 11 Dover races, he's only led a total of 6 laps.
My. That's surprising, isn't it? The driver that loves this place runs good here. But Larry, you look at those times. I mean, from a Ruderman who's 7th at an 01, Hamlin's an 03, and then you got Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, and Joey Logano all at 04s.
In the O's, yeah. 3 cars in an 04.
Allmendinger, if you didn't watch our practice coverage, wait till you see the colors of the car he's driving, and no, it's not green. Mark Martin will make his 48th Dover start on Sunday. The record is held by Ricky Rudd with 56 races at Dover.
Woo, boy, I tell you, he nailed. Oh, gosh, that hurt him right there. But
looking for his 5th Dover pole.
Didn't hurt him much. He's still on it.
Looks like he eased it down in the 3 and 4 car, washed up a little bit, but he got back to the throttle pretty decent. Not going to get there, though.
Second. That little deal off of turn 2 kind of slowed him down into turn 3 just a skosh.
22.90 to Martin Truex's 22.88. Martin's going to play 2.
Don't think it will be to no avail, but
no.
Buddy, that was close to that 22.88 that Martin Truex Jr. ran.
I believe if it hadn't jumped out from under him up off of 2 over there, he had it.
Second lap slower by 1/10.5. Let's show you what Darrell was talking about at turn 2.
And this right here, he probably doesn't get out of the throttle, but it affects you when you get down to the 3rd turn. Here now you're questioning your car. If it's that loose right here, what's it going to be like when I get to the 3rd turn? And you'll get up out of the throttle just a little earlier than you really need to. I think that may be what happened to Mark.
But I think you're right, because let's go back to Clint Boyer. It didn't really affect his lap, but if he was going to run another set of corners, it would have affected him there.
He was coming to get the checkered flag or the white flag, and it didn't affect him as much as it did Mark. Still a great run for Mark, 2nd quick.
Jeff Burton, 32 starts at Dover for Burton, 2 of them in the top 10. So not known as a good qualifier here. He's not started in the top 20 the last 5 races, but this looks like a good run for the Cat Chevy.
Fair. Had such a great run at Darlington last week and had that mistake on that final pit stop where he ran over the air hose. Boy, he was tail happy off turn 4, that's for sure. Another 04.
12th, yeah, 23.04 with a 4. Dick Bergman?
With Casey Kane, who qualified 2nd last year, 3rd quick in practice. What do you think? Can you knock Truex off the pole?
I don't know. That was a good lap. It seems like everybody slowed down a little bit, and Truex ran a good lap. So we'll see. Our Budweiser Ford was good in practice. We had a little bit of an issue we kept working on, and we made a few more adjustments. So we'll see. We'll either be too loose or we'll be pretty fast.
All right, good luck. I hope you're fast. Thanks.
Thanks, Dick. Brian Vickers left Darlington 20th in points, 160 behind 12th place, which would have made the chase. Earlier this week, he went up to make an appearance in Washington, D.C., complained of not feeling well, and was taken to the hospital where doctors discovered blood clots in his leg and near his lung. So to relieve that condition, they are treating it. Vickers hospitalized, and the decision had to be made by Jay Fry and the Red Bull team to put someone in the car. They chose Casey Mears, who was going to be here for Tommy Baldwin. And so Mears in the car. Brian, hope you're watching, and wish you a really speedy recovery.
Yeah, normally they give you a drug called Coumadin, and it will thin the blood and help get rid of the blood clots, but you can't race because if you happen to have an accident of any kind, you can have a serious internal bleeding. So they should be able to get that under control in a few days, hopefully.
Well, right now, as of today, Jay held a press conference earlier. It is not known when Brian will be able to return to the racetrack or if he'll be able to compete either weekend at Charlotte. They're kind of watching the situation as it progresses.
Well, I certainly know he would hate to miss the Sprint All-Star race, but the good news is that's not a points event next weekend.
Casey Mears 21st with a 23.44.
Behold, a bounty as far as the eye can see, and your eyes can see pretty far. 20 varieties of hot, delicious pizza made fresh from scratch, right down to the hand-stretched dough. Just waiting for you to choose from, and you ask yourself, what have I done to deserve all this? Am I worthy? Yes, I am. It's the Cece's Guarantee. If you don't see your favorite pizza hot and fresh on the buffet, we'll make it for you guaranteed. Still for just $4.99. Cece's Pizza, endless value.
You know what 2:30 in the afternoon feels like, right? Sleepy? Groggy? Dying for a nap? What do? Run for the coffee? Grab a soda? But how long does that last before you're back for more? Try this instead. Take one 5-hour energy, then see what the rest of your day feels like. Sure won't feel like 2:30 anymore. Or 3:30. Or 4:30. 5-hour energy. Hours of energy now, no 2:30 feeling later.
Everybody stand up.
The 2010 NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. A night of thrilling, unpredictable, anything-can-happen racing action you'll never forget.
Speed's coverage of NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying from Dover is brought to you by Tornadoes. Bold is how we roll. Rolling right now is Marcus Ambrose. The Tasmanian has made 3 trips to Dover in a Cup car, 4 in the Nationwide and 1 in the trucks. Late race accident left him 25th at Dover. And the A&P Camry clocks in 17th with a 23.22. Matt?
And Mark Martin, how much did you have to get out of the gas off turn 2?
Well, I had to let all the way off, but it was just like that quick. You know, you don't usually do that on the straightaway, and it usually spins the tires out there. It ain't no big thing. You just leave it wide open and you chase it. But the motor started to rev up, and it got aimed, and it was like, oh, I'm crashing. So even when I let off and caught up, it was aimed down the racetrack, and we weren't very fast, but that sure was fast. I want to thank the GoDaddy.com crew, CarQuest, and everybody, Chevrolet, and all their support. That's fun when you do better than you should, and somehow or another we did. That was sheer stupidity.
Well, if second is stupidity, that's a pretty good way to go. Dale Earnhardt Jr. The AMP Energy drink, number 88. Qualified 10th here a year and a half ago and outside pole in 2007.
This thing looks exactly like it did in practice. Darty. Like every time he turns the wheel, the front sticks, the back jumps. The front sticks, the back jumps.
It almost looks like a little slot car going around a track.
It's just real jukey looking.
18th with a 23.25. Junior has 2 nationwide wins here and a Cup win way back in 2001.
You know, Dale Jr. always had a huge affiliation with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Next week during All-Star Race Weekend, he'll be granting his 200th wish to a child from that foundation.
Well, they're 18th on the board right now with a 23.25. Second lap a little slower.
Larry, you can ask any kid who's your favorite driver, and you can answer it for them almost. It's always this dude right here.
Yes, sir.
Sprint takes you inside what's happening now in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Kevin Harvick, the point leader, coming into Dover. For more, check out NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile at sprint.com/speed.
Based on where Harvick's sitting right now, he's going to be happy. He's coming in here with a little bit of a cushion as the points leader. Right now, he's 21st out of the 24 cars.
The biggest point lead anybody's had this year. It's pretty impressive.
Regan Smith in the Furniture Row Chevy, making his 5th Dover start in a Cup car and looking for his first start in the top 25 at this track.
Yeah, they just never really found a lot of speed in this car.
Whoa.
Boy,
nearly found something else right there.
Listen, that's breathtaking.
I'll bet.
You're already holding your breath, and then that happens, and it will make your heart jump up in your throat.
22nd with a 23.41.
Because, Mike, you just really don't know, am I going to catch it? Am I going to save it? And that's what really makes you just get really just apprehensive about, like right there, you just don't know, is it going to come on around or not?
And you could see he built a little cushion that time off the exit. He kept him a little room between him and that wall.
That's right.
But was 9/100ths slower. So let's show you turn 4, lap 1 for Regan Smith.
Up a little high. And that's where he really gets in trouble. Then you see the car just start to kind of push loose. And when that thing right at that point gets a little bit tail happy with you, with the banking on the straightaway, you're just not sure if it's going to save it, if you're going to be able to save it or not.
Sam Hornish in the Mobile One Dodge had a strong practice session. He's run 4 Cup races here, and his best start last fall was 9th.
He was 13th quickest in that practice and stayed up there for quite a bit.
Old piece looked pretty good in practice.
Looks pretty slideways down the straightaway, you know, kind of yawed out there.
Tell you what, he got back in the throttle and it stuck, and it didn't look like he had to roll out of it if he just doesn't overdrive this corner and pick that gas up like he did in 1 and 2. Just hesitated right there. Still going to be a great run for him, but he was well in the top 5 till he got to 3 and 4.
I heard him get back in the gas too quick, and it made the car push the nose a little bit, got him up the track, cost him a lot of time.
So he's 7th on lap 1 after qualifying 3rd at Phoenix and 2nd at Texas.
Yeah, he was on a good run till about right there, as you said, when he went to pick that throttle up.
He tried to get back in it too hard, too quick. Needed to be a little more gentle. I think he had a pole run going.
So Sam is 7th behind Truex, Martin, Johnson, Newman, Boyer, and Edwards.
You know, sometimes it just gets so good to you. You know, it's good off at 1 or down 1 and 2, and you're down that back, and you say, driver in there just a little hard to get in there a little quicker. I got it.
I think that's another way of saying getting greedy.
Yeah, just overdoing it, you know.
Trying to get that little bit more.
Kyle Busch quick in practice. Here is Paul Menard, the Z-Call, Menard's number 98 Ford. Last fall was his 5th trip to Dover and his best. He started 10th, finished 19th. He also has 7 nationwide starts here.
He's had a well of a year in that nationwide series. Comes in here to Dover 6th in the points in that series.
Menard 22nd in practice. Going to end up somewhere close to that with this run. 18th. 23-22.
About a 10th and a half off what he ran in practice earlier, which we've seen pretty consistent from about everybody.
Wow, this lap looks better.
I think
way
it
up the hill.
Took off right there, and it's cost him a lot of time.
But he still looks like he might improve from lap 1. Boy, it was ugly in 3 and 4.
Yeah.
He gains 1 spot with a 23-14. Moves up to 17th.
He kind of diamond that turn off. It went up there with him, and he didn't give up on it. he got back after it and drove it off the 4. Did pick up a little bit.
When we get to knockout qualifying, it'll be 10 drivers for 8 spots left in the field. And we have 8 drivers that are locked in to qualify first, with Casey Kane going out next in the Budweiser Ford.
You know, every time I hear about debris cautions, Casey Kane here about 3 years ago always comes up. That's the first thing they talk about. There was oil in turn 3 and 4. They didn't catch it in time, and Casey was leading the race by a large margin, got into the oil and crashed.
Yep.
And so every time they use an example, and you can see here he's on a pole run, they always talk about that day.
He rolled out of it early. He let the car take a good set before he got back to the throttle, but I think he lost it just late exit.
My goodness.
89 to Martin Truex Jr.'s 88.
6 1/1000ths of a second. Martin Truex holds on to the pole against Casey Kane.
And trust me, even if he thought he could, he wouldn't take that lap. He said, that's all I got.
Kane's had 2 front row starts here, but not a pole in 12 appearances.
He did everything right in 3 and 4. He let that thing take a set. He didn't just nail the throttle, but just lost it late exit.
That was textbook, and it looked like a pole run until the very end. So it's Truex, Kane, Mark Martin, Jimmy Johnson. Dick?
Now, Kyle Busch is going to run all 3 series this weekend. That's a lot of laps. What's it like on Sunday night after you do all that racing over the course of a weekend?
It's not bad. You know, it's something that I love to do, of course, so we have a good time doing it. But so far this weekend, you know, all 3 series seem to be pretty good. You know, our truck's on the pole, and this thing's got a shot for it. I don't know how good of a lap we can get out of it, but if we can back up a practice time, I think we'll be close. And, you know, hopefully the M&M's Camry will get a good starting spot for Sunday.
25 years old. That's what you can do when you're 25.
Yeah, you bet. For off into turn 1, his older brother looked like he was on a pole run, but didn't get off turn 2 quite well enough. Kurt has 1 front row start here and 2 second row starts.
Lost a lot of ground in 3 and 4. He couldn't even think about getting back to the throttle down in the middle of the corner. First lap, 16th quickest.
I think the law of physics caught up with him in turn 1. It just wouldn't drove it in there so hard, and just no way to hold it.
Way better on this second lap.
I think he has compensated for it, what he did in that first lap.
He was a contender going down the back straightaway.
I think this looks real tight, like he's got a lot of wheel in it.
Definitely going to be an improvement, though. He jumps up to 10th quickest at only picked up a half a tenth, but picked up 6 spots.
From an 06 to an 01.
It's another car in the 23 O's.
This is not Richard Petty. But you know, if you just squint just enough, you'd think it would be. That paint scheme appeared on many a Plymouth, Dodge, Buick, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, just about everything Richard Petty drove after STP came on board, and their Dayglow Red joined the Petty Blue on the famed number 43 of the King. And this paint job celebrates Richard's induction that you'll see live on Speed into the NASCAR Hall of Fame a little over a week.
Pretty good run so far. He was 6th quickest in practice. He eased it down into 3 and 4. Let's see what he can do here as he picks it back up. Just not that good in 3 and 4.
Can't get it back down. Can't get the throttle back down quick enough.
7th with a 22.97. And yes, Richard Petty did race a Ford here and won the first 2 Cup races here. But that was before STP joined the team, and his Ford was painted just Petty Blue.
NASCAR's greatest legends finally have a home for the ages. The NASCAR Hall of Fame enshrines its first class of inductees. May 23rd, live on Speed.
We're in the mood for baby back ribs for dinner tonight. Who's got them? And it has to be all you can eat.
Thanks for dropping by. Golden Corral is the first ever to offer all the fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs you want, all on our endless dinner buffet for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
Maybe it's time you went out for a night off the town. Check out the National Go Outdoors event at Bass Pro Shops. Get great deals on great gear, including the new Ascend A10 kayak for under $300. Your adventure starts here.
If you had a choice between going bald and a fuller head of hair, which would you choose? Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss. You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. When it comes to hair restoration, no one in the world has more experience than Bosley. The results look completely natural and are affordable on nearly any budget. Bosley Hair Restoration is a relatively simple outpatient procedure, but the entire process can't be explained in 60 brief seconds. So to find out more about this clinically proven permanent hair loss solution, call the toll-free number below to receive your free no-obligation information kit. It'll answer all of your questions about hair loss and hair restoration. Every day you wait, you're losing more hair, so don't put it off any longer. The phone call is free. The information is free. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 1-800-564-9158. That's 1-800-564-9158.
Bobby Labonte driving for TRG, the Racers Group, has 3 Dover poles, but today can just manage a 23:37. That is good for 27th right now. Sunday NASCAR race day takes on the Monster Mile. Denny Hamlin and Juan Pablo Montoya live, plus Greg Biffle takes you for a behind-the-scenes tour of Roush Fenway Racing. NASCAR race day built by the Home Depot, 10 a.m. Eastern. Live from Dover on Speed. Elliott Sadler is in a backup Stanley Tools Ford early in practice. The right front tire got cut down by a piece of suspension and went into the wall, destroying the primary car.
And Elliott was under the impression that he had to go to the rear of the field, but I saw this group changing this engine before qualifying, so he will be able to start this race where he qualifies, since this is their race engine that's in this backup car.
Not a bad lap when you think about what they've been through today.
Right. 23:06, 18th.
Yeah, really only got about 20 minutes of practice.
Coming up, Robbie Gordon and Kyle Busch may have a shot at the pole.
Johnny Sauter and Ron Hornaday let it all hang out in the heartland as Sauter claimed victory in Kansas. Tonight, the world's fastest gladiators tangle in Dover. And we're there. But a monster is lurking, waiting to claim its next victim.
It had some contact. Oh, wow.
The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series from Dover, tonight at 8 Eastern. Presented by Pep Boys, only on Speed.
When you come to CarQuest, you'll find the quality parts you need and the service you deserve, along with the peace of mind that you've come to a place you can trust, where our people are happy to share their expertise to help you get it right. Whether you're a Saturday superstar or one of our many professional customers, when you deal with any of our 3,000 CarQuest stores, you'll discover an experience as exceptional as our products, plus the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. Great products, great prices, and something more at CarQuest Auto Parts.
Turn your RV into cash today. We will consign, sell, or trade your RV now and take the hassle out of selling. We offer top dollar for your RV and will pay off your loan. Consignments will be professionally advertised and promoted. We offer the best financing options at the best rates in the industry. Can't bring it to us? We'll pick it up. Get cash today. Camping World takes the hassle out of selling your RV. Don't wait.
Call 8775-RV-CENTER or log on to campingworldrv.com.
It's like a blast of hydration to your face. New Schick Hydro, the water-activated gel that hydrates your skin as you shave and lasts up to twice as long as ordinary strips, while 5 blades with skin guards smooth the skin to reduce irritation. It's the best shave for your skin. The new Schick Hydro. Free your skin.
The NASCAR experience live. Everything else is just a game.
Martin Truex leads qualifying here at Dover over Casey Kane. The BAM VIP number 7 Toyota for Robbie Gordon. First lap 23:74. This will be Gordon's 18th start at Dover in a Cup car. And the second lap, same as the first.
I'll have to put his work gloves on for Sunday.
Matt?
the Bud car definitely fast, 6 1/1000ths of a second.
Yeah, it was close. I actually landed into the corner. You kind of jump into the corners here. When it landed, the splitter was on the ground a little too hard, and it just, I think I went too slow there, or else it kind of screwed my exit up and didn't get enough speed down the backstretch. But I felt just a little adjustment there. We could have put up a much better time than that. So I think we're definitely in the ballpark this week with our Budweiser Ford.
The King's car is fast here at Dover.
Woo. 2 cars left among the top 35, and each have a shot at the pole. Kyle Busch has not started on the front row here. He has 2 third-place starts at Dover and a victory in 10 appearances.
I think Darrell and I saw the same thing when he came to the green.
We're way too loose. I mean, he had her sideways just coming to get the green. That car's hung out right now, right there.
He'll toss and catch it in turn 3.
It's not still going to be fast. Run. It's going to be a great run for him, though.
4th, 22.92. He is 4 1/100ths of a second off the pole.
See, they got it freed up for him. I can tell you that. It's all driver right now because that thing is loose.
Yeah, he's not going to get there, but definitely on the free side.
Definitely not faster.
23.04, lap 2. So Kyle is 4th behind Truex, Kane, and Martin. Brad Keselowski next, and then we move to knockout qualifying.
Keselowski stayed up near the top of the practice sheet, real close to it. A lot of the practice, when it was over with, he was 18th fastest.
23.03, so, you know, if he could improve just a teeny bit.
He was the 2nd fastest Dodge in practice, and he's qualified in the top 10 at Richmond and Darlington the last 2 races. This will be his first Dover Cup race. He missed the show here last May, driving the Hendrick number 25.
Hornish is 10th, his teammate.
Kurt Busch is 12.
Could be close to that. Oops.
Got a lot of activity going on getting out in that corner.
Yeah, I think when he missed that race last year, Brad was telling me he was really struggling what Cup races he ran last year, going back and forth between the Nationwide Series car and the Cup car, especially when you had to qualify them back to back.
He's 20th with a 23.09.
He's on the wrong side of the O's.
Yep. This car looks like it must be real snug right in the middle of the corner. Kind of letting it roll up through the center. Can't get back to the gas.
And the second lap is slower. So the 35 cars are locked in. We move to knockout qualifying, which will begin with David Gilliland, which was 2nd among that group when the final practice ended up. Now here they are ordered by practice speed. You see Dave Blaney was quickest, Gilliland 2nd, and Max Pappas a surprising 3rd among that group. 2 will go home. We are accustomed to having a 46 car entry, but the number 90, the Raymond Key Keyed Up Motorsports team, they have elected to skip Dover and also probably Charlotte as they search for sponsorship. They want to get back to the track, but they're not going to do it unfunded. They're not going to do it as a start and park. So that team is on hiatus for now. So it means that 2 drivers rather than the usual 3 or 4 will miss the show here.
And the worst thing about these 10 guys is you see Gilliland just real loose off the corner. The worst thing about these guys is if they hear those words after lap 1, find me a little more. That's going to be a very tall order for these guys.
Well, and that's the order for David Gilliland, because 23.51 is by no means safe in this group.
And if you can find a little bit, it may end up being worth a lot when it's all said and done. And it looks like he maybe will improve just a hair.
What a slide off 4.
He's trying.
Top slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, 6 100ths. So Gilliland is first. J.J. Yaley and David Stremme are next.
Tonight, Martin Truex Jr. and Jamie McMurray stop by NASCAR trackside. Then it's the NASCAR Camping World Truck Race and the NASCAR Hall of Fame biography of Dale Earnhardt. Live speed coverage from Dover begins tonight at 7 Eastern with NASCAR trackside. Only on Speed.
Well, we wanted to do something for our fans.
I want Kyle Busch in a pink car in a pink suit.
And now, they get to be our sponsors.
This has always been artistic.
And she loves those cats.
Who doesn't like kittens, bunnies, and little baby seals?
I love you.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
No, write that on the spoiler.
Okay. What will you design? ToyotaRacing.com.
Oh, Daddy.
No, Macy, I can't let you drive the old Aaron's Dream machine. It's too dangerous.
Please?
Honey, your feet won't even reach the pedals.
Oh, Daddy, I love you.
Whoa, Focus. You're only 11. You don't have a license.
But I have my own suit.
Boy, you sound an awful lot like ODW.
Your dad let you drive.
Name brand furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers are all here at Aaron's. You don't need credit to buy or lease at Aaron's guaranteed low price. Nobody beats Aaron's.
We're still going for ice cream, right, honey?
0 to 300 in under 4 seconds. Can't beat that.
Well, actually, you can at Copart.com.
You're right. Copart.com has over 50,000 vehicles online to choose from every day. Everything from classic cars, trucks, motorcycles, you name it.
That's what makes Copart.com the virtual auction.
Copart.com.
That's where car guys get cars.
And nothing flat.
Hey guys, get your pen on.
Well, get your pen on. Every time you wear your pin, you are supporting the NASCAR Foundation's efforts to help children live happier and healthier lives. Get your pin today at NASCAR.com/NASCAR Day or at a track near you.
I got my pin on.
Saturday night, May 22nd, stars come out, gloves come off. The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race with $1 million on the line. Checkers or wreckers, don't miss it. Saturday night, May 22nd, only on Speed. Great lap for J.J. Yaley in this number 46, an unsponsored Dodge. He clocks in at 23.22, and that looks pretty safe right there.
You know, we played golf yesterday. J.J. had back surgery, and he was really, I was surprised when I saw him yesterday. He's really fit looking right now. He's lost some weight, and he's really been working hard trying to get back.
Yeah, you know, obviously not in yet. You need to beat 2 cars, but I'd feel pretty good about a 23.22.
That looks like a very strong lap, Larry.
He flipped his sprint car, and it actually was in his neck, I think, a vertebrae in his neck.
David Stremme is next in the Latitude 43 Motorsports entry. Frankie Stoddard is crew chief, and I understand they're carrying Air National Guard in this car, not as a sponsor, but as a tribute to those folks.
Well, I think Air National Guard gets lost in the shuffle with the National Guard. It's somewhat of a different division, and those guys have decided, to give these guys a little bit of notoriety, a little bit of recognition for what they do.
Well, hats off to team owner Bill Jenkins for doing that. And let's see if Stremme can lock into the show. 23.32 on the first lap.
Unless he can really pick up, that'll be good news for J.J. Yaley.
That's a decent lap.
Yeah,
I think
not a bad
work.
lap. I think that'll make it.
You always like a little more when you're one of the earliest of these fellows to go out. And it's going to be a little slower. Good news for J.J. Yaley. He will race on Sunday.
It's great to see the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt, leading the list of inductees into the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
The NASCAR Hall of Fame induction ceremony, May 23rd, live on Speed.
I'm Dale Earnhardt Jr. And you're watching Speed.
It's time. From the #1 maker of ATVs and side-by-sides comes the 70-horsepower Sportsman 850 XP. The new Ranger 800 XP with 15% more power. And the all-new workhorse, the mid-size Ranger 400. Polaris, hardest working, smoothest riding.
This May on TNT, the battle for Western supremacy begins. After a season of drama, the intensity will rise even higher. The drama of win or go home takes center court in the Western Conference Finals. Only one will advance to challenge for the championship. Exclusive coverage of the Western Conference Finals is on TNT. Available in high definition.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Let our associates help you get your spring off to a great start.
Experience Lowe's. Let's build something together.
Pants, pants, pants. I am folding the pants. Do they go on my head?
Everyday moments can become teaching moments because learning starts long before school does. Give your child the start they need at bornlearning.org.
An extremely easy piece of equipment to operate, and the relief that it brings me is well worth the 3 to 5 minutes.
Give it a try and discover why over 1 million people worldwide have put their trust in Teeter hang-ups.
Michael McDowell, the Prism Motorsports Toyota, his first lap is 1/100th slower than David Gilliland, and that could be the difference between racing on Sunday and going home.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's got his hands full. I know that. If he can pick up, it's going to be a miracle.
Now, the little green line right there represents David Stremme, and he will not beat David Stremme, so that will lock him in, but he definitely improves on lap 2.
Boy, he had his hands full. I know that. He was fighting with that thing. That was all desire right there, man.
A 39 for McDowell locks Stremme in. Speed's presentation of Sprint Cup qualifying at Dover is presented by Subway Restaurants. So many $5 footlong subs to choose from. Enjoy amazing value at Subway all day, every day. So the bottom 2 after 4 cars in knockout qualifying are Michael McDowell and David Gilliland. Here is McDowell's teammate, Dave Blaney, former World of Outlaw champion and always a strong qualifier. He's made it into 9 races this year with a 3rd place effort at Bristol.
And he was the quickest of our go home group of those 10 cars.
This should be no problem.
Moving that needle around, but that's because it's so close right in there where these guys are all running.
Boy, he was just right on top of McDowell, right behind his teammate Michael McDowell.
By 100th. Blaney needs to pick up 14 thousandths of a second to lock in.
McDowell picked up his second lap. Let's see if Blaney, I believe he may be able to do it.
Just keeps flirting right there on top of what he ran.
Gas it up, man.
Slower.
Got to gas it. Not going to do it.
He is slower on lap 2, so Michael McDowell is in the field. He will race on Sunday. And now the bottom 2 are Dave Blaney and David Gilliland with 5 cars to go.
Well, Larry, the number 13 car, our boy Booty Barker.
There's the Geico Toyota for Max Pappas. And there is Booty Barker, the crew chief, with his stopwatch.
Setting at the start-finish line.
What Booty does not have is access to the NASCAR qualifying info that's provided all the teams, so he will only know the lap time. He won't know where Max is in relation to the other cars. So as he goes under green, it'll be up to Larry Mack whether or not Max runs that second lap.
I'm going to try to help my little NASCAR performance buddy out now. If Max does not beat 2 cars on this first lap, I will not say a word. They've already told Max about it. But if he gets in and beats 2, I will tell him the minute he crosses the finish line. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen here on lap 1. He's got some work to do.
Yep.
He will not. In fact, he's the slowest of the go-home cars.
Better looking 1 and 2. Woo, lost it a little bit right there, but he got through 1 and 2. Exit there, he got a little loose. And this doesn't look good because the car's wobbling with him, getting into 3.
He needs 0.2 of a second to lock in. He was very strong in practice, but just looked like he bounced off the wall right there. And Pappas is a fraction slower on lap 2. So Dave Blaney will get to start the race on Sunday. And the bottom 2 are David Gilliland and Max Pappas.
He got a little piece of the wall. You can see he's up out of the, just on the high side right there, getting out of turn 4.
Wow, he did. He got it. You can see the black mark on the wall.
Brushed it a little bit.
That's going to be very borderline at 23.61.
Yeah, I think so, Larry.
Mike Bliss comes out in the 09 Chevrolet. The former Truck Series champion has 6 Cup starts here, a best of 20th. And he was right on the line in practice as to whether he was going to make it in or going to load up and go. This looks like a decent lap.
Something Mike Bliss seems to have a little bit of a knack is reaching down in there. But, buddy, I almost listening to some of these guys, I almost think that thing may have bottomed out right there.
It sure looked like it bounced up the racetrack.
Nice lap, 32nd, and Bliss will race on Sunday.
All good there, man. All good.
All good. That's
34.
music.
David Gilliland and Max Pappas are the bottom two. We have 3 cars to go.
Sunday, NASCAR Race Day takes on the Monster Mile as Juan Pablo Montoya and NASCAR's hottest driver, Denny Hamlin, join us live. NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot. Live from Dover, Sunday at 10 Eastern.
Only on Speed.
Hey, JD, you see my drink anywhere? I'll keep looking.
Where does Carl Edwards get his power? Subway low-fat $5 footlongs like the tempting oven-roasted chicken or Black Forest ham. They fuel him up for amazing performances. Subway, eat fresh.
Found it.
Behold, a bounty as far as the eye can see, and your eyes can see pretty far. 20 varieties of hot, delicious pizza made fresh from scratch, right down to the hand-stretched dough. Just waiting for you to choose from, and you ask yourself, what have I done to deserve all this? Am I worthy? Yes, I am. It's the Cece's Guarantee. If you don't see your favorite pizza hot and fresh on the buffet, we'll make it for you guaranteed. Still for just $4.99. Cece's Pizza, endless value.
Todd Bodine in the Gunselman number 64, right on the edge, missed it on lap 1 by 6/100ths of a second. He's got to beat David Gilliland. That's where that green line is.
Boy, moving it around, but the trackers, it's just the times are so close right in there.
Yeah, I mean, he's right between David Gilliland and Max Pappas right now, and that's about where this lap is going to be.
Edgy.
Fell off right at the end, and Gilliland is in.
I mean, he had it, he lost it. Had it, lost it. Had it, lost it.
So the bottom two become Todd Bodine and Max Pappas, and you'll see Todd Bodine tonight when the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series races right here at Dover. Tune in for coverage beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
You know, all these guys that go, if you don't make the race, you still get points. You can get 44th place points.
Owner points, which is important.
Exactly. Right. That's as long as you try to qualify and you don't make the race, you're still going to get some points that will help you down the road somewhere.
Well, what's really important about that is if somewhere we have qualifying rained out, that's where those owner points and where you're at, even if you're outside the top 35, is so important.
Joe Nemechek. Back in the day, Joe started on the second row here and had a bunch of top 10 starts here at Dover. This will be his 32nd race if he can get in. Nice lap for Joe. He will race on Sunday with his unsponsored Toyota. Nemechek is in the field, and that lap will send Max Pappas home.
So now we'll be down to Todd Bodine versus Johnny Sauter. Two guys from the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
Todd run a 57, 23.57. That's what Sauter's got to beat. A 5.76. If he runs a 5.75, he's in.
Nemechek second lap.
Good enough.
36th for Joe Nemechek.
So why didn't somebody tell me?
So Todd Bodine, as Larry pointed out, 23.57. That's the time for Johnny Sauter to beat in the Tommy Baldwin Toyota. Sauter's made 2 starts this season, Phoenix and Talladega. He's 5th in the truck points.
I guess at Charlotte I can bring one of Joe's radios up here to the booth too. I'll just bring all of them up here.
You know, Philippe.
In the truck race that you'll see tonight on Speed, Sauter will start 3rd behind Kyle Busch and Elliott Sadler. Oh, he's flirting with it.
His car was a little bit loose coming to get to green. That had to hurt his lap.
I mean, he is all over. It's going to be so close on Johnny Sauter.
Did it.
He's in.
23.56 to Todd Bodine's 23.57.
Yep.
15/1000ths of a second determines who races and who goes home today.
I was a little worried when he came off turn 4 there with the back end hung out, but he got after it and he made it.
So Todd Bodine and Max Pappas, Bodine with a 23.57, Pappas with a 61, are those outside looking in. Martin Truex Jr. has his 5th career pole. He's the 9th different driver to win a pole in 2010. 3rd Toyota pole winner this year, and the 35th different driver to start from the front spot at Dover. Dick?
Well, congratulations to you. They say that there are 3 things every driver wants in order to race well here at Dover. A great pit stall. You're going to have the best pit stall of all. Track position. You start out in front of absolutely everybody at a fast car, and you've got that. Which of those 3 is most important to you?
Well, fast car is obviously really important. We won here a couple years ago from 26th, I think. So I don't think it's so much where you start, but the pit stall and the track position is going to help us a ton. With our pit crew as good as they've been this year, they've done such an awesome job. Giving them that #1 stall is going to give them even more of an advantage. And just so proud of everybody on the Snapper Toyota, everybody at Michael Waltrip Racing. We've really been hitting our stride here lately. We've had fast cars, and we've struggled a little bit with qualifying. So today's a big day for us. Pat did a great job with the car. We had a bit of a plan this week we talked about, and it's nice when a plan comes together, and everything's going really good right now. So I'm real proud of all those guys. They're doing a great job.
You have been smiling so much since your run that I think your jaw is going to hurt. Congratulations to you, Martin.
Great run for Martin Truex. The last time this race in the spring was won from the pole was Ryan Newman in 2003. We'll have more from Dover after this.
I'm really proud to be a part of it. Love, it's pretty amazing.
Her name is Amanda Brookman, and she is my destiny, although she may not know that, per se.
So you can go online and make any kind of car you want. I made a love car.
Do I think they stand a chance? I mean, who doesn't love love?
I love love.
What will you design? ToyotaRacing.com.
Who?
We're in the mood for baby back ribs for dinner tonight. Who's got them? And it has to be all you can eat.
Thanks for dropping by. Golden Corral is the first ever to offer all the fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs you want, all on our endless dinner buffet for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
Maybe it's time you went out for a night off the town. Check out the National Go Outdoors event at Bass Pro Shops. Get great deals on great gear, including the new Ascend A10 kayak for under $300. Your adventure starts here.
He's going with the long tongs. Would have gone short tongs, but he's a pro. Montreal steak, unbelievable flavor.
With the mouth-watering flavor of Grill Mates, you can grill like an expert. McCormick Grill Mates. Master the flame. Master the flavor.
Where do I get my daily NASCAR fix? Log on to NASCAR.com. NASCAR.com.
They have everything.
They have highlights,
Interviews, preview shows.
me shows. You say me shows? My show, Kyle's Corner.
Tons of videos. I like the articles myself.
Articles?
Yeah, the articles, track smack, splash and go.
Hey, look, whatever you need, I promise you, NASCAR.com has it.
NASCAR.com.
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 Check it out.
This May on Speed, everything leads up to a weekend television event beginning Saturday, May 22nd at 7 Eastern, the 2010 NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. Then, Sunday, May 23rd at high noon Eastern, NASCAR's founding father, Bill France Sr., Bill France Jr., along with the King, Richard Petty, Junior Johnson, and Dale Earnhardt, rightfully take their place as the very first inductees into NASCAR's Hall of Fame, right here on Speed.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Today's poll is only Martin Truex's second top 10 start of the year. He started 8th at Phoenix.
Think about it. He made the chase that year. He won the race here 3 years ago, and he comes in here 13th in the points, only 16 points out of the top 12.
A couple of guys up there. Allmendinger's been qualifying really good on the pole at Phoenix, and there's Sam Hornish, who also qualified well at Phoenix, up here again today.
Nice job by Elliott Sadler in a backup car to make the top 10 rows.
Jeff Gordon, first car out, kind of didn't have a good feeling about that. He's back in 15.
A lot of those Roush Fenway cars back here in row 11, row 12, even though Carl Edwards did qualify 9th.
And your point leader starts 30th. Kevin Harvick way deep in the field.
Got his work cut out for him. That's going to give him a bad spot on pit road, I'm afraid.
Stremme, second to J.J. Yaley among the go-or-go-homers. A lot of them are in this group back through 40th. And Johnny Sauter, last man out, got the last spot in the field.
He sucked it up to do that, I'm telling you.
Max Pappas and Todd Bodine are the two who go home disappointed as Martin goes off to the press room without the dog to go do interviews.
And like a lot of racetracks we go to, but I think especially here at Dover, there's just no substitute for that #1 pit selection as you leave pit road.
Oh, Pup up there, he said, hey, dude, how about
You're leaving me, man?
I want to go to the press conference.
No animals, and only a few fenders were harmed in the filming of this qualifying session.
That's sweet.
Martin will be on trackside. He's got a lot to celebrate and a lot to do this afternoon, along with Jamie McMurray. You'll see that at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Looks like we'll have a lot more to talk to him about.
Yeah.
Holly, hello. It's off to Nashville I go.
Have a lot of fun tomorrow. Congratulations to all the Waltrips on Jessica's graduation, and we'll see you Sunday.
Hold the fort down till I get back, guys.
We'll manage.
We'll keep your seat warm.
And the crab cake's warmer.
You're putting your best man on our 2 practices tomorrow.
Hammond.
A man named Hammond.
Yeah. No telling what'll happen.
Don't forget, Camping World Truck Series action tonight on Speed. And on Sunday, congratulations to Martin Truex and Casey Kane, who will share the front row for the Autism Speaks 500. Tomorrow, live coverage of Sprint Cup practice right here on Speed. We'll see you then.